In today's video, a walk in the hills, maybe a sunset, hopefully some photography. I hope you'll enjoy it. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. In today's video, I'm up in the hills north of the little town of Orchetta, and there's some quite nice views from up here out to some of the mountains. Over behind me there is the end of El Castellet's Ridge, and pretty much hidden by the trees there is Puig Campana. Out behind me over that way is the Etana mountain range, and we've got all the hills. I'm just going to have a walk around, see what I can find. Thinking of maybe heading up a bit higher than I am right now, and just seeing what I can find to photograph. That's it, no real plan, just hoping for the best. Skies are pretty much clear, there's some thin wispy cloud up there, but whether it's enough to do anything around sunset, I don't know. But we'll see as we get closer to the time. I've been climbing up here, I don't know, 25 minutes. It's quite steep. I mean, it's not too difficult. Actually, in some places there's kind of steps cut into the trail. In other places there's not. And the bits where there's not, it's actually quite tricky. And of course I've got to get back down again later. So just looking down that way, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the road that I was on earlier when I did the intro. And you can kind of see it again over there. Now the problem is most of the higher ground actually seems to be quite heavily wooded. Behind me, where the trail carries on, it's going into woods, and it doesn't look like it's going to break out unless we get really high up, and I just don't think I'm going to be up for that today. There's quite a nice view kind of over there behind me of El Castellet's Ridge. So we've got the big peak at the end, and then it kind of curves around and kind of links up with Puig Campana mountain. But I think because of the height we've got now, I don't think Castellet's Ridge looks as nice as it does from a bit lower down, where it kind of juts up into the sky more. Maybe another day for up here, but not today, I don't think. I think what I'm going to do is go a bit further back down, and it might be that I end up sort of down where I've shot from before, but it's still worth coming up here because there might be some possibilities up here on a different day. We shall see. Time to head back down, I think. Oh yes, and there's a power pylon up here. So this fruit tree here has got some blossom on it. There's not many of them, but this one has. And that blossom is catching the light from the sun over there. I just think that might look quite nice. Might be a couple of shots here. So I'm actually just going to shoot handheld. I'm going to do one shot of the whole tree because I'm thinking the darker background might work well, you know, with the blossom catching the light and the background dark. And then I might even go in and see if there's a close-up shot of the blossom itself. Not sure, but it's worth a go. Just handheld, so we'll see. Trying to make sure that I'm filling the frame with the tree, but not having any of the tree going out of the frame. Do struggle a bit with this electronic viewfinder. Yeah, that might work. Let's try a close-up. I don't know how close I can focus on the blossom. So the situation I'm finding myself in now is all the cloud over that way has disappeared. Not that there was much in the first place, but there's really nothing there to put any interest in the sky. Oh, don't want a bike. Like that. And I'm not really sure that makes for much of an interesting image. There is a bit of cloud out in the general direction of sunset. So if I come around this way, you can see that there's a bit of light wispy cloud over that way towards the direction of sunset, but I'm not sure that there's actually a composition that way that's going to work. Always a way. We shall see what happens. We've got about 45 minutes, maybe 40 minutes until we lose the light. It's still nearly an hour till sunset, official sunset, but we'll lose the light much earlier than that. So sometimes when you're struggling, get the camera out, zoom in, put the hat on backwards, otherwise I can't see what I'm doing, and let's see if we can see anything. One possible idea, there's a ridge over there with trees sticking up, then beyond that there's another ridge, so you get with the sun up above you're getting contrast, so the forward ridge with the trees on is very dark, the one behind it is a bit brighter, and then we've got a brighter sky. Might make for an interesting black and white actually, so I think I'm going to set up and shoot that now, but I am going to shoot this one on the tripod. Okay, I'm considering shooting a panorama of the scene over there. So that would include the Castellet's Ridge, or the peak at the end of Castellet's Ridge, the hill to the left, the hill to the right. Further across there's actually a building, a white building down here in the foreground. I mean, it's not the prettiest building, but it kind of adds to the scene, I think. And there's some fruit trees just by that building, which is kind of why I want the building in there. And I'll probably have to shoot it fairly soon. It's a shame there isn't better cloud cover, but there's a little tiny bit of wispy cloud up there which might help, and we'll have to see what happens as the sun drops down a bit lower. So time to get set up. Okay, so I'm set up. I've got my tripod nice and level, camera nice and level, and I've framed the image the way that I want. And then I think I'm going to take the first pano now. I think it's probably going to be something like about six or seven images. And we'll see what it looks like now, and then I'll probably do it again in a little while when the sun drops a little bit lower. And there goes the sun disappearing behind those hills over there, and that means that the light on the scene has also gone. It's also gone completely flat, and I think that means it's all over. So I was glad that I took the opportunity to shoot that pano when I did. I thought once the sun went down we'd lose all light on that scene, and the cloud cover there is so minimal, it's not going to do anything post sunset. So that looks to me like time to wrap up and head for home. It's also starting to get quite chilly now the sun's gone down. So I am going to wrap up. Hopefully I've got a couple of images worth sharing from this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like, share it on social media, leave me a comment. And if you're new here and you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.